On the stage with you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can just stay right there. You don't even go nowhere. You right there. You don't need to move. Huh. Come right up here. All right, y'all. It's a championship round. So y'all gotta bring it. Leave it on the stage. All right, who go first? Head to tail. Which one did you say? Tell heads. You can't do that. You don't do that. To heads. What's that? Oh, again. It's heads. Comfy gonna go first. Everybody give it up for the championship round. I present to you Comfy Stennis, everybody.
I'm sorry I was late. That's still on my conscience, but anyway, it took me. It took me a while to get here. On some I used to hope that my beauty would decide to show up and be present. Gift, like the little smart girl in my class who simply couldn't say here when our teacher called attendance, and she was trying to dare to be different than the rest of us when I was the one who already stood out, making somewhat big appearances like I'm here, present, elementary elephants in the room, so to speak, not so comfortable in this thick-ass skin yet, but me. And I remember when Deron told me I was pretty for a big girl. I was 11, all naive and shit, like, what? Straight feeling myself, right? Because at that point in life, I hadn't quite learned to feel myself right. Why? Because no one looked like me. On TV, no one. In magazines, no one. And when no one looks like you, it's natural for you to question yourself. Say self. Self. Now I know better. And if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have lost my perfect attendance and no good citizenship award. I probably would have lost my perfect attendance and those good citizenship awards. What the fuck you mean? I'm pretty for a big girl, Deron. Note to self. Never trust a repeat 6th grader with Iverson braids that laid up instead of hang time. And he wasn't Little Fizz and he wasn't a Morion. Baby boy had them bumps, acne. And you can call this on a roll, because I'll be on a roll to roast anybody who tried to diminish my radiance at recess. I'm on a roll to roast anybody who tried to diminish my radiance at recess. You can kick bricks, kick rocks, and I be stepping on cracks that break mama's backs for making us last for shit like hide and go seek and or freeze tag.
They was about to say the whole poem with it. She said, self. They said, self, I am the rest. Good job. Give it up for Cupcake. All right, man. One last time, y'all. Please give y'all show y'all love to Brian tomorrow. Oh my God. Brian, I'm going to talk about this here. Brianna Minor.
Okay. So I can't sing, and I'm going to need like audience participation.
She acts nice.
I would hear Lauren sing about that thing. Honestly, didn't know what it means till I was a teen. Damaged black girl trying to build her self-esteem. Beginning to explore with the birds and the bees is when I realized everybody ain't who they claim to be. Girls, you know you better watch out. Some guys are only about that thing. What is love? Romeo and Juliet be the love story ever known when you underage. School days, teachers be quick to stress the hazards of unprotected sex, but never how to express your interest in the opposite sex without being physical. Manipulating youth's mental, I assume they expect you to be taught some things at home, but when your daddy long gone, the only love lesson you were taught or through song. Sweetest thing I've ever known was like the kiss on a collarbone. So he kissed me Told me I taste like honey. Sworn to treat queen as she deserved to be, cause she be majestic. So prolific. Her art be God-given gifted, yet she never met her prophet. Only heard her voice. Them songs be sermons so powerful, could deliver nations of color girls. Heart awakened. I realized I was miseducated on loving thyself. So blinded by wealth. And it all falls down. I'm telling you all, and it all falls down. Proclaiming self-love, yet give away my body so freely. Praising those man-made women I seen on TV, silicone curves perfectly shaped. But as I stare at my reflection, I remind myself God makes no mistakes. Physical attraction will always fade, yet intellectual appeal be so real. That authentic truth. Don't lie to me, King. This love thing be feeling sort of like a dream. And nothing even matters at all. Said nothing even matters. See, nothing be more important than my inner peace. Demons played hide and seek in my sheets. They found me counting sheep in my darkest hours. Using showers to wash away the hurt and humiliation, the miseducation of love. But this music be my soothing through battles and steep hills. Queen, you are a star. Don't ever allow these men to dim your light.
After y'all didn't know none of them songs she was singing, y'all was all balls, man. There we go. Let's get the girls up one time. Get the girls up. All right, so now y'all about to decide who's gonna make it to grand final. So let's get it, y'all. Give it up for Coffee Stinners, everybody. Let's go. Everybody give it up for Brianna Meyer. Hey man, that was dope. That was dope. All right, so usually this is the part of the show where I get y'all prepared and I call it a feature. Well, for some people, this is gonna be new. For a lot of people, they're gonna be like, what? But your boy is actually gonna be the feature tonight. Like I'm gonna actually do poetry. I ain't did it in a while. I'm kind of coming out of retirement, but we gonna do this thing, right? That's right. So I think it's just kind of corny if I'm like, hey, I'm featuring, and then just start spitting. So I'm gonna call one of my bros up, one of my slam team members, you know what I'm saying, my dude, that's been with me since my beginning of my journey. He gonna call me out, so that way y'all can kind of cheer for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know? All right, so, Jonathan Ferguson Lewis.
What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you guys for coming to Wordplay, hosted by RV the Poet. Put your hands together because y'all look wonderful, you look warm. I hope you guys are ready because we got a really dope feature tonight. Are you ready? I'm ready. I ain't seen him in a while. Let me tell you a little bit about this man. So RV the Poet is one of the founding members of the original Slam team. Squad. You know what I'm saying? That went to nationals in the beginnings, you know what I mean? And then later on, he took a stint and he was hosting a show called The One. And if you weren't a part of that, you gotta come and see that when he brings it back.
Yes, sir. I'm bringing it back.
Oh, he said he's bringing it back. And then years pass, he does The One for a few years, and he comes and he does Wordplay here at the corner. I didn't even know this man was still writing. So we all in for a treat. We in for a treat, so ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Go like this for me. Put your hands together for RV.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I'm like extremely nervous. Like, I'm goofy naturally, so I kind of just joke. That's just how I am, but that's how I talk all day long. But I ain't really did this in a while, so I really need y'all to bear with me. And I'm really gonna need y'all participation. I know y'all like, hey, bro, again, like I'm tired. Like I might as well get paid for this because I've been performing too. But I really need y'all, man. So we just gonna do a little test, all right? So when I say I want y'all to say more, and I want you to say like y'all really want it. We're gonna try it one time. I want more. Okay, all right. And then if I say I need, I want you to say more. So I need more. All right, bet. So we're going to get it cracking just like this. Hey, when I say I want, you say more. I want more. I want more. When I say I need, you say more. I need more. I need more. More. Check it. Hey, when I say I want, you say more. I want more. I want more. When I say I need, you say more. I need more. I need more. That's a funny word, ain't it? I mean, it kind of has no satisfaction. It's just more. Every time you get money, you need more. More love. More sex. More infatuation. I just need more. People even come up with funny phrases and try to say that less is more. But see, that is nothing but a metaphor to simply state you cannot afford a better way of living. So we settle for less in the disrespect that they give us. They tell us to be, oh my bad, they tell us to settle for less in the disrespect that they give us and we oppress as a people. But yet we find it comfortable that we live in a civilized prison. You have to wonder, without a crime, you can still get that death penalty. But see, most of us served that sentence. The difference is it was mentally, and I find it hard to believe. That we on our hands and our knees, we work hard, grinding, 5 days a week, and we'll still struggle. Or some of us, we'll go and sell those poison death and dreams to our families and friends, and we'll call that thing a hustle. I mean, it's anything for my next come up, right? I mean, as long as my outcome brings income and shit, there's no harm done, so it's all good in the long run, right? I mean, as long as I get my money. I mean, but that's a deception. See, money took our moral values like an interception and continue to inject us with infections and cause us to be greedy like zombies that feast over minds, because overall, great minds do not think alike, but more for themselves. So that's why we plot, scheme, only have esteem for self-seed. Money is a great addiction. It's overall our worst affliction that wavers on critical thinking to believe that money makes life different. I mean, they say money's the root of all evil. But shit, doesn't it seem like it makes everybody's life wondrously good? I mean, I wonder why. Maybe because what is good can seem evil, and what is evil is a master and looking good. But don't get that misunderstood. When God created us, we had one purpose. That was to love, to be loved, and our things and our prized possessions was meant to be used. But see, we're confused because we love our prize and our possessions, and we allow people around us to be used for the love of money. But don't trip off that. We'll just show a blind eye to that shit and continue to believe the metaphor that less is more. Because even if you try to get more, you got less. Because it doesn't matter how much you get, you still be wanting more. So when I say I want, you say more. I want more. I want more. When I say I need, you say more. I need more. I need more. More women being disrespected and mistreated like Keisha. I see how you looking at me, bro. You don't know Keisha, huh? You hear? You don't know. Bruh, she came to school with the bruise. I mean, again. Then it's this time I sat back and watched her. Watched her as she told all her friends how some mysterious ghoul in the closet decided to come out and leave marks on both of her sockets. She removed her prescription glasses in the classroom and showed everybody this Monsters Inc. And see, I sat back and think, and see, my conscience, it made me conscious to this nonsense, and she continued to speak, and I knew a bigger problem had to exist. So I couldn't resist this anger that I felt inside for this classmate of mine with tears in her eyes as she tried to paint the truth with her lies. But see, I realized something. I mean, her physical bruises, man, it was nothing compared to the scars on her soul. See, Keisha, at 16 years old, had bear witness to burdens no young girl ever should know. See, Keisha was beaten. I mean, she was abused. And I knew she was confused, torn from a chaotic eruption of love and hate. See, Keisha was broken. Though her words never spoke this, I always felt as if her father himself was just standing next to her in the classroom, just daring her to reveal these truths from her home, say something was wrong. I mean, I knew. But Brandon, bro, I couldn't front. Because when she came to school, even though she had some type of panic and fear, she still showed us joy because she knew she was here, as if this jail was some type of vacation. I mean, they said that home is where the heart is. Well, if that's true, then her heart was surely in here. When people that lived there was only meant to break her. She was drowning. And she knew no classmate, no teacher could save her. She was in prison. And she feared that if she spoke, no one would listen, so she never said a word. Kind of like that old nursery rhyme we heard. I mean, y'all all know the one. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird. But if that mockingbird starts to sing, just watch the anger it brings, the damage he leaves, and why she wouldn't flee was beyond me. But most importantly, y'all, what was the rest of her family? See, she had no help. She had no protection. No, none of that. So she would never find her way out. So Keisha will continue to drown. And now I'm in the classroom like, hey, has anybody seen Keisha? Does anybody care about Keisha? I guess not. And we'll just turn a blind eye to that shit and continue to believe the metaphor that less is more. Because no matter how much more you get, it's less. Because every time you get more, you're going to always want that. So when I say I want, you say more. I want more. I want more. When I say I need, you say more. I need more. I need more and more. Hey, when I say I want, you say more. I want more. Whole black bodies being disrespected and murdered and discarded by a harmless entity that was only meant to protect. And I can't help but ask myself, am I next? Because look at me. What do you see? She already told you I'm the darkest man in the room. I'm black. I'm talking about 15 minutes past midnight black. I'm that typical nigga. I got the dreads, the tattoos, so when you see me, I guarantee you think I'm some type of hood-banging drug dealer. So that situation got me staring down the barrel of a gun. And as I stand there, my hands shaking, heart beating like the African drum breath, it feels taking him. Squeezing on the trigger of the gun, bang, bang, bang.
Let's go, bro.
Definitely death is gonna be my fate. But don't cry for me. Why would you do that when niggas die every day? And besides, I was resisting arrest. Yes, I had the audacity to ask him why he pulled me over. Was it really because I was going 5 miles over? Or is it the fact that the color of my skin seemed to burn him up inside, so he decided to pull me over and allow me to move forward? I wonder if he could have let me off with a warning. Look at me. I'm just a normal guy who works a 9 to 5 for my family. My only goal was to provide. But shit, now, I won't even survive. Did he need to use so much force? Handling me, slamming me, beating me with no remorse, telling me that my alibi is just a lie, so it's no surprise. History repeats itself. I must remind him of a man named King. Funny how he wants me down on my knees when all I really want to do is stand. Ain't that what I'm supposed to do as a man? But can y'all imagine how I felt standing there? Knowing I was going to be the next headline. This just in. Young African-American male gunned down by local law enforcement at the routine traffic stop. Many people have caught this incident on tape, posted it on all the social media sites, so the officer in question is facing paid suspension. But hey, all that shit's fucked up, but listen. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. But there's principalities and spiritual wickedness in our places. So that means that faces and simple racial discrimination should be irrelevant. But see, one thing's evident, that the true enemy, he's tired of using his tactics. So he tried to use his last trump card, and somehow we ended up to move on. So we got to stand together. We all need to band together. It's united we stand, divided we fall, but we seem to fall because we're divided by a system. That system? It seems like it's a flash from the past. That killer, the hit by that white hooded mask. The difference now is that he hides with a badge and has the nerve to display how we react. They put us on TV and say, look at this shit. You see this? This is how niggas type. Well, hold on. I'm going to tell y'all something. That's a moral attack. But my people, it's hard for us to see that when we're blinded by wrath. And we'll stick to a path of hate instead of love to wonder why it's corrupt in a nation. There's only through races that despise one another. See, hatred, it really comes in many different colors. But what if I told you we was all meant to be brothers? Really, brothers, sisters, birth from a natural mother who was impregnated by a spiritual father who gave a son at the altar for us to bring his generation forward. All races, but somehow we still stagnant. Why? Is it a lack of love? Is it a lack of trust? One thing's a must. We need to understand that shit quick, for there won't be any lives left to matter. But see, we'll just turn a blind eye to that bullshit and continue to chase the metaphor that less is more. Because even if you get more, you got less. Because it doesn't matter how much more you get, you're always going to be wanting more. All right. That shit felt so good to release. I don't think I understand. Yeah, bro. Yeah. So,
you need the blanket.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. And I thought that. Yes, ma'am.
That's good.
Yes, ma'am.
He still got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Blonde, what got something to say?
Yes, ma'am. What you got to say?
Can I say something?
Yeah, you want to sit up here? Oh, okay. Well, give it up for the blonde white girl. This kid. Yes, ma'am. Her real name is Miss Kim, everybody. That's how she introduced herself. She was like, I'm the blonde white girl. I got something to say.
I'm the blonde white girl. I got something to say. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. I don't know what to say. Because you black girls are gorgeous. You're amazing and strong socks and it's just a fucking shit show, right? It's a shit show. And oh my god. Happy Black Month. This is so amazing. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody else, Miss Kim, everybody.
I'm singing a song.
Oh, she wants to sing a song.
I'm singing a song.
Scared.
Are you scared?
A little bit. Well, I'm ready though.
You're scared?
I think. Hold on, wait a minute. We got.
Why are you scared?
Due discretion.
I'm singing a song, Jack.
I feel like we're gonna try to tap
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Smile, though your heart is breaking. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun shining through. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although that tear may be ever so near. Now's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, almost loose and crying. You'll find that life is still worthwhile. Just
But no, real talk though, man. I just want to say I had fun with y'all. Did y'all enjoy yourself, man? Did y'all enjoy yourself? If y'all did, y'all give me one out, bro. Alright, I got two announcements and I'm gonna get out y'all way, alright? Announcement number one. My girl Jeffy students, she got clout merch. So she got hoodies, t-shirts, masks for COVID. Where's my mask at? Masks for COVID, all that. She got all the merch. So if y'all want to talk to her, Holler at Comfy Stevens. I got Chris Creations back there. Sarah Coleman got some paintings back there. And then we got Miss Kill, who just gave us a lovely song. Who's back there with her son. So I'm gonna go ahead and call my boss, the man of the hour, aka the Russell Simmons of this. We're going to call T.L. Williams to the stage. Can I please show your love for the founders, T.L. Williams.
This has been very interesting. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren and sisters to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down the skirts of his garment. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, it was there where the Lord commanded his blessings and life evermore. I'm T.L. Williams, and this is Poetry on the Vine.